because of pressures. Kuldeep Nair referred this as a result, Muslims left behind in education at least 2 centuries compared to the other communities. Main cause for the backwardness of Muslims today is their illiteracy. All the writers in Mughal courts were non-Muslims. We say Muslims, they were writing the records. Mostly Brahmins were the writers. They and their children utilized the opportunity and got benefited to the maximum extent. Our foolishness dragged us towards labor categories and petty businesses today. What is adorable in us to be appreciated? We have become senseless creatures, neglecting value-based life. We are just existing as creatures. Contrary to this, another example, Japan after Second World War in 1945 accepted the defeat as reality and completely subjugated to America. America not only captured and ruled all departments, but also brought revolutionary changes with the education system to change Japanese patriotism. Teachers were terminated and US mission was inculcated with all these Japanese took a challenge, studied in the same English schools and came out as successful Japanese rather than Americans. But we avoided it. They remained tactful and proved wiser than the Muslims of India. In the light of the above, it is high time for the Muslims of India to come down to realities and learn effective strategies to come out of the gloomy situation. We are passing through the era of scientific culmination. Let us not lament over for what we have lost or float in the glory of past. We should join in hands to make a new India with contribution in science, education, and prove to be the pride of the country and determined to emerge as the proud citizens and wanted citizens of the country, not the unwanted citizens. It is possible is the question. Is it possible is the question again. Why not? Muslims are the second largest number next to Indonesian Muslims. Being the largest minority in India should prove to be the creative minority, project our worth in shaping the country, thereby raising the community to a mighty lot. It all depends on our determination. Determination changes the direction of storms. After all, education is around us. We should acquire. One need not go in search of it. Determination will give us the strength and courage to face everything and anything in the world. Second is the integration. We should get integrated for a cause, work together to educate the community. Education has to be pierced through the community at different levels, in different manner, that is school level, college level, adult, and also informal education too. Government schemes are helpful only to a limited extent. Community has to shoulder the responsibility for its full-fledged solution. All of us with different thoughts of school should come together and exert their might to orient the entire community towards education. Zakah and charity is the helpful source to promote education. Part of it can be used for the treatment of helpless and aged persons. Rest of it, every pie of it should be utilized to make the community educated and self-sustainable. It should not be allowed to spend the fund or charity amount with unwanted customs, as it is happening these days. Needy people should use the amount for a purpose to improve the condition of life, giving importance to education. We must try seriously to bring this system if desired to change the status of Muslim community. We are bound to bring awareness both among the givers and the takers. Receivers need not take it easy to spend away to their whims and fancy and remain empty-handed next day, expecting help again. Unfortunately, it has become a habit with many of the people. They are used to spend on petty enjoyments, ignoring the importance of education and not realizing the value of help they are receiving. At times, donors train themselves to help others, which is often not realized. Thus, there is an earnest need to bring about awareness about control system of available resources that is nothing but zakah, charity and donation from the community. At the same time, community has to learn to utilize welfare schemes of government to the possible extent. Educational institutes are another source to be utilized for the purpose. They are convenient venue to assemble parents and students where strategic programs can be initiated. Programs should be linked with interesting events to attract beneficiaries and binding methods to continue the mission. There are agencies which are misusing the schemes and our beneficiaries are not only ignorant but also unable to go through the processes. Also, discrimination, indifferent attitude, discouragement in the officers keeps them away from utilizing the benefits. Many of the schemes remain on the newspapers are shown and for propaganda purpose. The only alternative left is for the community to take up the responsibility of transferring government schemes from government officers to beneficiaries. Mind you, again, the beneficiaries are the underprivileged and illiterates who can manage to obtain their benefit, who cannot manage to obtain their benefits. Help extended in this respect will give them moral courage and hope which they have lost. This way we can build rapport with these unwanted people and get response to implement our mission. Even middle class people are in need of such services who are struggling and hesitant to express their problems. Actually, it is they who are more concerned to improve their life condition and will get better and fast results with the middle class people, although masses are the underprivileged people. As already mentioned, zakah and other funds should be channelized for the purpose of education to maximum extent except treatments and few serious issues. Fund has to be used to run coaching classes and prepare the students thoroughly well in the subjects, but they should remain in the schools and colleges as passport. Existing schools and institutes can be used as passport to appear for examination, because for us to start our own institute takes its own time. And we need not venture to start new schools or colleges of our own, as it will be laborious and time consuming with lot of problems, hurdles and expenditure. There shall be a separate sitting for a well-planned strategy to commence such program, and we should use every minute of our life, our energy, money, everything to empower women, women of course, and the community through education. All this has been summarized in some couplets of Alhaj Rabbani Nayar. I would like to conclude my paper reading out, which is of course under theme of Dr. Rabbal, which is Rabbani's. खुदाए लम्हे अज़ल की आज़मतों का राज़दान तू है, खुदाए लम्हे अज़ल की आज़मतों का राज़दान तू है, जलालत का, खिलाफत का, इमामत का निशान तू है। तेरे सर पर खुदा ने ताज रखा है खिलाफत का, खुदाई का है वारिस तू, शहंशाह जहां तू है। खुदी को भूल कर तू भी बेखुदी में खो गया, इतना नहीं एहसास कल तक कहां और कहां अब कहां तू है। हुई बेदार दुनिया खुल गई हर कौम की आंखें, मगर इस वक्त भी सरगश्ते ख्वाबे गिरां तू है। तेरी दुनिया भी आखिर तंग कर दी तेरी गफलत ने, मगर अफसोस बदस्ते शर्बे अरगवां तू है। मुबद्दल पस्ती से होती जाती है तेरी हस्ती, अरे नादा ये हालत देख कर भी शादमात हो गई। ये बेमानी खामोशी देखकर तेरी जहां वाले समझते हैं कि मजबूर व असीरे नातवा तू है। तेरी मंजिल है बालातर, तू कहीं अर्शे मौला से, सितारे जिसके गिर्द राहों वो कारवां तू है। वही टुकड़ा है, वही रोना है अपनी कौम का नैयर। अमल करके दिखा आज मसरूफे फगाम क्यों है। सलाम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
So Nadine ma'am, it was very insightful to understand different aspects of educational awareness and commitments. Now we would be having hold on screen. So now we will have a tea here, and with the tea we would also continue our next session. That would be Muslim educational institutions, which will be presented by Ms. Aisha Masood, Trustee, Oasis International School. So meanwhile we enjoy our tea. I would call. Okay. So there's a slight change in the plan. We'll have an open session right now for the 10 minutes with regards to this topic, education, awareness and commitment, and also maybe we can also discuss on different aspects about the seminar. So I would request people to ask questions and suggestions or give suggestions in terms of this seminar and content or subject of the seminar. So they can raise or write a suggestion or questions and you just pass it on to us.
Or let people ask questions informally.
Yeah,
Writing.
that is also fine. Yeah, and you can also ask questions. Yeah. I would like to have Mr. Anis Ahmad and Mr. Abdul Rahman. Ma'am, can you please share the dais and yeah, this is open session, so questions will be entertained.
Not just question, they can also
Views, suggestions, questions, we are open for everything.
There might be points here which people want to discuss like this. I mean, that is the plan.
No,
we also have
better ask questions. Suggestion can be given even later in my case.
My question is that why do you combine two people rather than one? Because otherwise you'll not be able to complete this one by 5 o'clock. I'm damn sure about it.
So come again, sir, I don't understand. What was that?
Instead of one people, your observation is one person, why do you combine two papers?
Yes, we have multiple open sessions, and also since we are out of time, we are just waiting for the tea.
Otherwise, I don't think we'll be able to complete it by 5.
No, we are trying to complete it by 5. That's what we have planned actually.
Okay, then we can, if that's the thing, we can start the next session.
Yeah. If that is the case, I think we will go ahead with the second session. I would request Ms. Aisha Masood to come up and share the presentation.
When I was approached by Abdul Wahid about this seminar, what attracted me was the topic. because this is something which has to be in the minds of every Muslim of India. Okay, what have we done in these past 60 years, and what are we going to do in the next 30 years to make 100 years of Muslim presence in independent India worth it? So, in continuation with the previous speaker, I would like to say that Allama Iqbal has also said that, I don't remember the words, but I know the meaning, that why feel scared of the Tufan when Kashti bhi tu, na Khuda bhi tu, or Sahil bhi tu. So, everything is in our hands. We have to face the storm because we control it. We control it, we just are unaware of our powers. So, what are the steps that we need to take towards establishing a strong Muslim presence in India, essentially from its independence? The most important, according to me, you may say I'm biased because I'm in the field of education, but I feel that everything starts with education. And education of the child right from its educable age. So, keeping this in mind, we started our institution. But today I have to present a paper on institution building in general. Let us now see what an institution is all about. Why an institution? We have to know that institutions are arenas where unique strategies are pursued for inducing and maintaining values which satisfy societal needs. They are formal social mechanisms which facilitate constant transmission of values, for example, a school. Now we have to know that institutions bring about deliberate change. This is not compared to the evolutionary change that happens due to some change in a political system or change in a value system. The institutions are places where change is brought about deliberately, and for that they go through a process of building and reaching that stage where they can actually make that change happen in society. I think we're being delayed. So, to tell you a little more about institutions, the institution building approach presupposes, therefore, that introduction of change does not take place through formal organizations or institutions. These institutions, the introduction of change takes place through formal organization and institutions. These institutions primarily symbolize, promote, sustain and protect innovations. These new standards they promote must become institutionalized, accepted, valued in the society they belong. Okay, and how will they be accepted and valued, and how will they actually bring about the change? This depends on the interactions between the organizations and the environment. The institution needs to initially accommodate to its environment for survival, while simultaneously trying to introduce and to guide significant changes in the same environment. This is so because you have to be in the system to change the system. You cannot ruffle the system as soon as you try to establish one. So we first try to introduce ourselves, get set in the system, and then bring about the change. That is very important, and that requires a lot of resilience and a lot of perseverance. There are certain factors that are involved in the development process of an institution building. I have identified 5 factors after a lot of research, the most important of which is leadership. This leadership is considered to be the single most critical element in institution building, because deliberately induced change processes require intensive, skillful and highly committed management of both internal and environmental factors. A leader therefore should have extraordinary qualities to be a change maker. Now when we talk about a leader and a change maker and a leader who has institutionalized every aspect of society, who do we think of first? We think of, I hope everybody's mind goes towards our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who was a versatile leader, who institutionalized every aspect of society, the political, economic, judicial and social. And how did he do that? You have to have exemplary values to be able to do that. And the lessons that we learn from his leadership is that the certainty in his mission, that he compromised nothing for quality and for excellence. He put oneself on the line. First, he became an example of whatever he was doing, and he had absolute faith in his mission. The faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has sent him as a representative and to make the change, and that he can never go wrong because he had Allah by his side. He put the goal before personal preferences, that is, he killed his ego. He thought about the goal and did not think about himself before his service. Then he lived his message, he took risks, he dreamt high. Only then was his mission, given such a high agenda and high results. Then he sacrificed short-term differences for long-term benefits. There were a lot of differences that arose amongst his people, but he sacrificed all those differences and he put the bigger goal before that. And he had his character was full of magnanimity.